The last thing that I want to help motivate you with is your mindset. Mindset really, really determines what is going to happen basically in your life. If you say to yourself, like for instance in the area of finances, if you say to yourself, I will never get ahead on my bills. I can just not stay current on my credit cards. I cannot be a millionaire. The thing is that if you have those thoughts beforehand, those thoughts will limit you and you won't get there. If you have an open mind and you say, you know what, um, let's go ahead and give, for example, this financial program a try. For instance, it could be the Dave Ramsey program. It could be another financial program. I mean, to me, whatever program you want to do, you can do you. For me, the Dave Ramsey program really has set my wife and I free, and we feel very, very comfortable. One thing that the Dave Ramsey program did for us was when my wife lost her job due to whole COVID-19 and all that. And because we had our emergency fund all saved up, even when we were like, okay, we've lost a source of income, the the mood between us, it was a sense of we weren't panicked, because if we needed to take $800, $1,200 to cover some bills, we had the money within our bank account. We had the money to do it. And that gave us great peace because myself and my wife, we went out of our comfort zone. And because we went out of our comfort zone of finances to say, okay, we're going to be disciplined, we're going to handle money responsibly, we have come to the point where we are. And it's huge. For me, with fitness as well, um, I remember when I was introduced to Beachbody, and it was actually because of my brother, my older brother. His name's Jonathan. He had some copies of P90X, and I fell in love with the program right away. I started doing it, and then got involved with the other programs, and I've loved doing those programs, and I still love doing the programs. But back to mindset. If you determine that you're going to get something accomplished, you will get it accomplished. Um, for us right now, the biggest thing right now is getting a down payment for our first home. And that can be somewhat of a struggle because mindset can say, okay, we can only save up, well, only, quote unquote, with our extra money, we could save up about $1,000, $1,200 a month extra. And you're like, well, that's good. But if your goal is, say, $40,000 down deposit for a 20% down, which is our goal. Our goal is to put 20% down so that we can avoid the private mortgage insurance. 40,000 seems very daunting because, 1,200 goes into, 40,000 roughly about 30 times, 30, 33 times or so. That means 30, 33 months of potentially saving up for a down payment for a home, which means about 2 years, roughly. That can wear on you. And you can say, oh, we won't be able to make it. We won't be able to do this or that. But, it's a journey. It is a long journey in the sense of, by the time we get to our first home, I'm going to be most likely going to be 33, 34, maybe, hopefully sooner. But I do have to come to grips with that I'm probably going to be 33 or 34 by the time I get into the first home. And that's something that she has to grip with too, is that she's 5 years younger than I am. So 5 years younger, she's she's probably going to be 28, 29 by the time we move into our first home. And that might be something that we have to accept. Now, but are we sitting back and are we saying, oh, we can't do this and so we won't? Or are we actually moving forward with it and saying, you know what, let's give this a shot? Let's give this some time. Let's give this, an opportunity. Maybe, depending on pay raises, depending on what happens with me and my job, or how my business at Beachbody goes, that sort of thing, we may be able to get there sooner. And I hope that we get there sooner. But we also have to realize that worst case scenario, this may happen. And that's probably what you're going to have to do with too. Like, say you haven't exercised in a while, or you haven't exercised ever. Um, Exercise is going to be rough at first because you're going from not moving at all or having to not done much before to now, okay, now I'm going to start running. I'm going to start lifting weights. I'm going to start whatever your level of fitness is. That is going to be rough at first. And it can be very, very discouraging to go ahead and keep moving forward. So, that being said, I also want to give you some motivation to help with your mindset. Um, because mindset, if you get that completely done first, the rest will follow. You could also, because I'm assuming that you also have looked at my logo, there's this continuing pattern between um, money, finances, and mindset. For me, because I exhaust myself with exercise to the point where I am completely, I don't want to say wasted because, I worked hard for the workout, but at the same time, the, it really clears my mind. Exercise really clears my mind, and I really have time to expand my mind, expand my thoughts after exercise. And because I'm able to expand my thoughts, I can think more openly about things like, for instance, handling money better, handling whatever extra that we have. If I put in overtime at work and I get an extra, say, $100 on my paycheck as an example, what am I going to do with that extra $100? Am I going to blow it on eating out, or am I going to actually say, hey, you know what? That's $100 extra that we can set toward the down payment for a home. So instead of $1,200, it's now $1,300. I mean, it's only $100, but hey, it's $100, right? So again, mindset is something that I really want to help you all out with as well as just saying, this is what I've been dealing with, this is what I've been struggling with, that sort of thing. So with the format of the podcasts, here's what I'm looking to do. The goal is to see if I can have the podcast be roughly about 30 minutes in length. And sometimes they may be a little bit shorter, sometimes they may be a little bit longer. But that's roughly the goal, is about 30 minutes. Now, as this podcast grows and develops, maybe it'll turn into something. We don't know. Um, and basically, the podcasts will start off with accountability. I will open that up with saying, okay, this is how I did this week. This is how I did in my finances. This is how I did with exercising / Beachbody. One other thing I'm going to mention, since I'm bringing up Beachbody again, is that since I'm a Beachbody coach, I'm also looking to grow my business. Okay. Now, I'm not saying, you should buy stuff from me. I need to earn your trust. I need you to be able to see my channel, see my podcast and all that. And then I need to be able for you to say, you know what? I want to take responsibility for my life. I want to be financially responsible, whether that means you're finding your dream career or possibly joining with me as a Beachbody coach and potentially earning as an income, part-time income. I could assist you with that as well. Or if you just want to say, hey, you know what? I want to just support you. The biggest plug that I'm going to say for you guys is definitely look at the Beachbody products. I'm going to post a link underneath my video, underneath in my podcast notes, about where you can go to purchase products for Beachbody. And then I'll get the commission off of that. So again, no, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. It's just a matter of if you want to help support the podcast, support my videos. And then after I'm done with telling you how my week went, I'm going to go over some tips. I'm going to go over a mindset tip. I'm going to include a money tip, and I'm also will include a fitness tip. Now, the fitness tip could be different things, whether it be, hey, here's how you can try different moves, that sort of thing. Money tips, things like, here's how to avoid spending too much on this or spending too much on that. And a mindset tip is, obviously, I'm going to give you something thought provoking, and then we'll just take it from there. And that's going to be the end of this first podcast. So, again, introductory podcast. This is what's going to happen. And again, you all have a wonderful week. And I will check back in with you next week. And let's stay accountable together.